How's it feel? Cruising through the city on tail. Feel like I just want me a meal. Baby, wanna show you what's real. We can build with you by my side. Baby, we could fall out the night and sit up like the stars in the sky. Cause baby, are you down to ride with me by your side? Oh.
What's up, family? You're now tuning in to the No Yes Man podcast.
No, yes.
You here with the homies.
Hey, this your boy Sam Archer.
Your boy Jamal Ship.
Hold on. Rewind that back, y'all. We got my man Ship in the building.
What's happening?
We got him on here. We got a very special episode for y'all today. We're doing something kind of different.
Yeah, we try to keep it lighthearted, really, but we got so many requests talking about they want us to like touch on fatherhood because a lot of us have kids and stuff like that, and we're in peculiar situations. So
yeah, and fathers just don't get
that love.
A voice. Yeah, they don't get
that
a voice.
Love,
yeah,
man.
you know what I mean. You see one, I'm about to say you don't see no commercials.
Our card selection be ass.
The shopping at the mall, you get one little kiosk at the mall.
2 rows,
And
one
Mother's
column.
Day is like the whole row, the back row.
Exactly.
So we about to change the stigma on guys in general on this podcast.
And I feel like it's a lot. Like I really wanted to do this episode. I feel like it's a lot of unsaid things that, as a father, as not even just a father, but as a man, that we just kind of shy away from talking about. And it's like, just as much as you hear about girls having like daddy issues, like guys have dad issues too, because a lot of times fathers aren't around. Yeah, you know what I mean? The same. Facts. So it's like, but you don't hear us talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, exactly. Yeah, not allowed. Yeah.
We get shunned.
Yeah, exactly.
We're sexist, we're misogynist and all that stuff.
Or weak. Or you looked at it as weak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, we actually had some fans send in some questions that they wanted us to touch on. So
and check when you guys check out our Instagrams and we ask you stuff on polls and stuff. Go ahead and respond because we're checking it. Like we're not just putting it up there just to shoot the shits. Yeah, we reading everything. You know what I mean? We reading it now because you know when shit hit a mill. When they hit a mill, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna be reading all that. We're gonna hire somebody for that.
Before we actually dive deep into this content, I want to shout you out because I've been on this keto kick for a few days and dropped 11 pounds in this thing.
Oh yeah.
Boy, the homie P Smoke Keto.
We're gonna insert claps. There's a round of applause for keto.
So all 3 of us are keto at this point.
Oh yeah, we getting it too.
You're gonna see me getting smaller in the camera, and that's because of that. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get back to the content.
Okay, so like we said, we did a poll, just asking people what kind of things they wanted to hear. We had a lot of good feedback. I chose a couple questions that we're going to pretty much read off of. And if you guys want to engage, hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on our social media accounts, and we can keep the conversation going. It's not just for the podcast. It's, we're trying to keep this going, spread the knowledge. So we're going to jump right into it. So the first question is, because I don't have no kids, but I might be headed that way, you know what I mean? Someday, you know what I mean? Someday. But look, before we even get into that, why don't you tell them like about your situation, how many kids you got, and gender of your kid and all that.
Well, my situation is a little unique, if you know what I mean. I got one child, he's 8, and I don't really have like a baby mama situation. You know what I mean? So like I'm a single full-time dad. He lives with me and everything, full custody, and the mother's like not really in the picture at all. You know what I mean? Like I moved to Kansas, came back, and there was a point where she didn't see him for like 3 or 4 years. So my situation is a little different. So my perspective is like I feel the women who have the fathers that leave and walk out and they got to do everything by themselves. But I don't get food stamps. I don't get child support, none of that stuff. So I'm doing it dolo. So in retrospect, I do understand, like, you know what I mean, the woman's plight. But then as a father, I see how they always say a man is supposed to accept the woman and the kids. You know what I mean? But like when we date, we got to get a girl. Now she has to accept the son. You know what I mean?
True.
And girls ain't really with that. You know what I mean? So it kind of it's a weird situation.
Especially,
so
I think
that's where my
I think
perspective comes from.
especially like in your case where it's like usually when a girl dates a guy with a kid,
He ain't never
he
in
ain't
the
got the
picture.
kid. Yeah, he ain't got the kid. So it's like you
Bro, I was
really
like, yo,
ain't
what
dating.
up?
Yeah, but it's
Right,
like,
with
yo,
kids.
you can't come over because
Yeah.
like you can't meet my son yet. Yeah, like on some real.
Yeah, it's wild. You
Yeah,
have the
so
date
yeah,
and
it's
the
definitely
kid come in
different.
playing
And
PlayStation.
it's a rarity to like be a father and have full custody. Like you
Yeah.
don't see that. So
Oh,
like,
trust me, I went through hell. I went
Yeah.
through hell with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
I mean,
like I said, what about you?
I mean, first and foremost, let me congratulate you on that. Like you said, you don't hear that often.
Appreciate
so the fact
that,
you're
man.
even willing to step up and take full custody of a child, that's a big deal. And it's definitely.
yeah, we definitely commend you for that. Yeah.
For that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
we're gonna give a round of applause for that. Take care of his kids. We all take care of kids. Yeah, we love the kids.
I guess I would have more of the ideal situation. That's what you
The
like
dream.
to call it.
The
Goals.
I guess,
Y'all talk about goals. Here they are.
I guess that's what you like to call it. I married my high school sweetheart.
Hey.
We didn't live together. Didn't have any kids prior to us getting married. We got married. She was pregnant 8 months after we got married, I believe.
Hashtag goals.
Somewhere around there. We purchased our first home about 30 days before our daughter was born. So we were dealing with moving into a new home, getting situated, and then having a child. So I live under the same roof with my wife and my child since day one. So
Yeah, but see, in another view, I mean, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Because that's the ideal situation. That's how it's supposed to be done.
Well, that's
That's the way we wanted it to be done. So I'm just happy that it actually worked out that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you set a lot of goals for yourself and have ideas of what you want to happen and where you see your life. So the fact that worked out for me, I'm truly grateful for that. Though.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Definitely. And
What about you?
Jamal has a daughter.
I have a
Hector
daughter.
has a son.
Beautiful daughter. Her name is Lauren.
And I got, I ain't got a puppy,
How many
y'all.
kids you got,
I ain't even
bro?
got a puppy, y'all. Like,
He lying.
Y'all
You got
know.
some kids floating around here somewhere.
nah, y'all, I hope, please don't wish that on me.
Oliver Queen on the island for 5
I got some
years.
beautiful godchildren that I spoil.
That's amazing too.
I got my nephew. Like, I'm preparing. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I'm not a dad, but when I do become a dad, I don't want to just be jumping into it. You know what I mean? So, like, the kids in my life, I take real good care of them because I can give them back. You know what I mean? So-
exactly.
I can speak to that. He Uncle Sam with the good gifts.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
The good gifts.
Yeah.
Lauren already know what to expect.
Yeah, the Uncle Sam, this Uncle Sam part, I feel like gonna be scaring them when they realize the other Uncle Sam. They gonna be like, "Well, damn, my Uncle Sam, no, at least he gonna be taking my bread." I swear, my Uncle Sam be snatching shit out my check, and even when the government shut down, that's the crazy. I still ain't getting over that. Even when the
trust
government
me,
shut
yeah.
down, they
That's
still
not
snatching
even
They,
go
bread.
they opened it back up though, didn't they?
Yeah, so we're gonna start this thing off. We're gonna start answering these questions that we got. We're just gonna take it back to the beginning where you guys both started. You know, like what is some of the best advice that you guys can give to a new father from what you've experienced? Maybe even talk about like what you expected to what you got. You know what I mean? As when you're giving advice to a new father.
I guess I can start it off. I think more than anything is to truly take advantage of the experience. I think a lot of people look forward to the walking, the talking, and them being a little more active and kind of fail to realize how important and how amazing those early stages are. So I would say don't take those things for granted.
As if they
Waking
don't,
up.
the little like,
Yeah,
we
like
can kind of bullshit through this stage
Yeah,
because they're not really
yeah.
talking yet. Yeah.
Even the hard things though, the waking up in the middle of the night, the feedings, the changing in the middle of the night. I mean, you learn something about yourself when you have to do that. Like when you still have to, when it's time to go back to work and you still have to wake up 2 and 3 times in the middle of the night and then still go work an 8-hour shift and come back home and still give your child that love and that excitement, because I mean it's not their fault and kids still feed off their energy.
Yeah.
So I would say just don't take that time for granted. Like it's really vital. Like it's tiring, it's exhausting, it's difficult, it's tough. It's all of those things that you can think of, but it's so worth it. Like I look back on it and miss some of those times. As rough as it was.
So let's talk about, like you said, those rough times. Like from the outside looking in, you know, because I don't have kids, the experience that you get from society is that the pregnancy is the rough time. So how did they deal with the hormone changes and like maybe I guess every pregnancy is different, so yeah, you don't know really what to expect. But like what is something that they can do during this time, during the pregnancy period, that can better prepare them for day one?
I think having conversations. I think what I was excited about is that me and my wife talked a lot during the process of her being pregnant as to what we expected from each other once the baby actually got here. Us both being first time parents, we had to have those discussions about disciplining her and where do we want her to go to school and just all those conversations. So instead of waiting until she got here, we had those conversations while she was pregnant, which made things a lot easier. We were on one accord. Yeah. We were on one accord when she got here. But as far as like the pregnancy part of it, though, it wasn't that difficult for me. I mean, only the advice I can give you, especially if you're in the house with your expecting mother, you guys are together and y'all with each other every day, is basically just do whatever it is that she wants.
Smart answer.
My situation was a little different because I didn't meet my son till he was 4 months, so I didn't go through any of that type of situation. But what I would tell a father is providing isn't really all that a father is. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of dads out there is like, well, shit, I got a roof over his head. You know what I mean? That's all I need to do. Yeah. But really, it's about the time. You know what I mean? Like, this is my first year I coached his football team, my son's football team. And it was probably some of the funnest times I had in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was hell. You know, I got a full-time job, so, like, I'm rushing home to get to practice. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't got a significant other to really bring him and drop him off and stuff like that. And he was like, Dad, can you coach? And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I coached, and it was my first year. Like, I don't know anything about being a coach, but that shit was fucking amazing. Yeah. And
he'll remember it too.
Yeah, like he comes in and he wakes me up in the morning. He's like, hey, let's go train, because football is like big to him. And so like we'll go work out, and it's actually helping me get back in shape because I can't be fat. You know what I'm saying? Having an athlete as a son. So I mean, if it was me, just make sure you get that quality time and mold his mental. Because in the last podcast we were talking about generational mindsets. Yeah, definitely. You gotta. It's not just about making sure he's fed and clothed. You gotta make that mind and develop
healthy.
You know what I mean? And make sure you instill in him that he's better than you. You know what I mean? It's not about like you going through hardships and making sure that he's going through hardships. You gotta train him to understand what life's gonna happen, what's gonna happen in life, and how to overcome those obstacles. And be bigger, faster, stronger, smarter than you. You know what I mean? Like that's evolution. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I see it.
And then if I can speak on something too, before we kind of move to the next question. I know we started with first time fathers, like what advice can you give for them? Mm-hmm. But even before the kids get here, yo, you hear so many amazing, wonderful, beautiful stories about childbirth.
Yes.
Somebody needs to start talking about when it's not so beautiful.
When people be fainting and all that.
Yo, let's be very clear about this. Sometimes, I feel like you both should prepare yourselves for it not going that way. Like, it's not always a couple deep breaths, holding hands tight, and then poof, the baby is out here. There are some more traumatic experiences with childbirth. Me and my wife experienced one where at some point I thought I could have even lost her. So prepare yourselves for childbirth as well. Like, make sure you guys discuss some things about what you both want in case of an emergency. Prepare yourselves for if things don't go right. You kind of pray before you go into that situation, because there's so many positive things about childbirth, but nobody really talks about the other side of that. Yeah. So I think that's definitely another conversation you guys should have beforehand. It's just if things go wrong, just being mentally prepared for that.
Yeah, and what's crazy is, man, like I said, I met my son when he was 4 months, so I kind of didn't get to experience any of that. That's why I want one more kid, just so I can experience all of that stuff. Process. Naming him, I had to get his name changed. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even have my last name. So I had to get his last name changed, and like my situation was fucked up from the get-go. And to keep it all real, man, like when I met him, I was like, yo, this ain't my kid. You know what I mean? I was just young and stupid. I got a paternity test, and when I found out he was mine, I was like, damn. And it was a situation where she just popped up, dropped him off, and dipped. So it was just me and this little nigga I'd never met before for a year.
Yeah.
For a year. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, and I was in acting classes. I was an extra in Sleepy Hollow. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my music like real heavy, like opening up for Def Jam and doing wild shit. And then I'm like, God, now I have this kid. It broke up my relationship that I was in for like 2 years because it was like, it just was a shell shock to the whole situation.
Yeah.
And it was like, damn. And like, I was tight, you know what I mean? But it was weird because going through like the months of like change, like you were saying, the hard stuff that normally a woman does. Yeah, man. Like, because he had acid reflux. So he would wake up constantly in the middle of the night. And and he'd sleep in my room, so I'd have to wake up, rock him, stuff like that, still go to work. I dropped out of college so I could become an electrician and stuff like that. And going through all of that stuff is like, damn, I love this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like this is me. So it was like, as the time passing, it's like now I can't even imagine him not being around. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't even understand how people walk out their kid's life. Because it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, I made you.
Yeah, like that's me. And he looked just like me. Yo. It's fucking wild. So it's like, damn, bro. And he acts like me and everything. He's a fucking goofball.
So one thing that y'all both said was like quality time.
It's important, bro.
So now because you have a girl and you have a boy, what is your approach to how you spend that quality time?
Mine's is easy.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with a whole lot of shit I don't gotta deal with.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, like I said, kids aren't easy at all. Like, I mean, there's a lot of work you gotta put into whether you have a boy or a girl. But I do agree with you. I do believe that having a boy is a little more on the easier side than having a girl. It's like.
Yeah, it's like a little brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like with a little girl, man, it's like her dad, like, or me, like, I'm gonna be the first man that she ever loves. Like, I have that huge weight on my shoulder, of setting that tone for men and the way she should be treated and the way she's going to look at men for the rest of her life starts with me. Yeah. So that's a lot of pressure, and it's like you want to, you have to be caring, you have to be gentle, you have to be emotional with them, you have to be understanding. Even at a young age, my daughter's only 1, she'll be 2 in April. But even at this age, like, you could just tell that the little
that's what
girls
she's picking up on.
Yeah, she's picking up on that, like your energy. It's just different for her. So it's a lot of pressure, man. It's like but at the same time, like, I don't want my daughter to be dependent either. Like, I want, so it's finding that balance of kind of toughening her up and teaching her some things, so that way she can be out here on her own and not really need a man for anything. But then also letting her know and understand it's okay to lean on the man as well. You mean, because that's what when she gets to that age and begins to start dating and things like that, like, that's what her man should be there for her to lean on.
Oh man, and she in trouble when she start dating. She in trouble when she start dating. Did Uncle Sam move in? Because he's been here for all my dates.
Yeah, but the cool thing about that though is you can like teach her the game. You know what I mean?
Nah, definitely,
You know the crazy stuff we used to do when we were younger. You kind of like teach her like
to avoid.
We know what homie's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're definitely not gonna be able to pull
the wild tricks.
My daughter's eyes, like, I promise you. Like I've already told them, like she wasn't even 1 last Valentine's Day, and I got her a card and a flower. Yeah. Like, she didn't even understand it, don't know what's going on. But she's going to understand in February, before she even understands that it's Valentine's Day. In February, when mom gets a big bouquet of flowers and a card, for whatever reason, I do too. Yeah. And that's going to be a continuous
It's going to set the expectation.
To set that tone.
Yeah. So, like, don't settle for nothing less.
Yeah, so no 5th grader or 6th grader is going to be able to bring her some cheap daisies that he got from somewhere and some candy and impress her.
You have to step up
because dad already dropped off a dozen long stem roses at the front office.
That's amazing.
With the diamond pendant. It's not easily impressed.
It's not going to be easily impressed, but it's going to set the bar. Like, whereas little Jimmy got me just a card and Timmy got me some flowers and a card and some chocolate. It's like, oh, this is my dad level type of shit right here. Like, ain't nobody else going this kind of big for me. So that's kind of, but that's what you want. You want that person that's going above and beyond. Not the person that just likes you, but the person that likes you is gonna show you that they like you. That's the person you want your daughter to be with. And it's like you said, you got to set that expectation, and that's the kind of thing you're doing. Like my daughter, I want my daughter to love being around me, and because I'm gonna treat her right, and it's how she gonna always want to be treated, and then she gonna just go on from there.
And so, from the guy perspective, I mean, my son's 8. I'm 28, so I'm not old by any means. So he's really like my best friend over like a kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we fight, we argue, all of that stuff. Like it's
more
weird.
like your little homie than your son.
Every time somebody meets him, like yo, he's like a little person.
Yeah.
Because I don't treat him like my child, like because I had him when I was 20.
Yeah.
So now it's like he has
talking
a young,
to him.
Exactly, and it's like I even let him know, like me and his mom don't rock, but if you want to have that relationship, that's I'm not gonna stop you from that. You know what I mean? So he got a cell phone and everything, and like if you want to call her, text her. Yeah. I mean, it's on him to find out what type of woman she is.
Nah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I ever was like, no, you can't talk to her, it's gonna fall back on me and make me look like I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
So I like.
But that's what happens a lot of times, where it's like they say situations like the mom is always like down talking to dad.
I'm against that shit, man. Like. Y'all relationship has nothing to do with that relationship with that kid. Yeah. And how I see it is like I was done the most fucked up out of anybody. Yeah. But I'm not gonna put that resentment in his eyes.
Nah, yeah.
So I'm gonna let you have her number. You know where she live, and you talk to her so you can see what type of woman she is. Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you anything. Yeah. I'm here to give you advice, and I'm gonna tell you.
Need it, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like I don't like liars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't like this kind of people. Yeah. That's on me. Now you figure out what you like and what you don't like. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, I mean, if they don't have a relationship, it's not
because
on
you
me.
Have,
I'm never gonna deprive him of having that type of, you know what I'm saying, connection. Yeah. Like at first, I was real like that. I was like, yo, she's a horrible person. I don't want her anywhere around my son. But as he grows up, they got these questions, man, and it's like. The only way that you can answer them, because it's an emotional, an emotional abscess that you gotta kind of like feel. Yeah. And in order to make that happen, you gotta let him see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let him see why it's not that way.
See, it's crazy because I feel like in your situation, it's so weird because you gotta be the dad and the mom.
Yeah, man,
you know what I mean? Where you don't really hear that, and I think that's the unique thing about it. Yeah. Where it's like you're getting to break that stigma, and it's like, look, like it's probably tons, but it's probably tons of dads, like single dads, like even like the movie Daddy's Little Girls, like in that situation, like the kids were like wanting to be around him because he was just a healthier source. You know what I mean? He was playing both sides, the emotional side for the kids and the provider. Side, you know what I mean? So it's like.
And he had girls too. So
he had 3 girls. Rough. Yeah, exactly.
I
hope I don't want no girls, man. I'm sorry for y'all listening, but I do not.
And listen though, but I'm telling you, man, like, cause I have my nephew who's like only 3 or 4 months older than my daughter, and I love him to death. Like that's like my son almost. Like I love him to death. And I thought I wanted a boy. I mean, of course I still do. Like I feel like any man would want a boy to kind of take on that name and be similar and be like them. But it's nothing like having a girl, man. Like it is the most.
Good. I feel like it's the
most amazing, beautiful thing.
I feel like it's a way like
ever.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
It's changed me so much. Like, I feel like a boy wouldn't have changed me as much.
Nah, yeah, you still would have been a little nigga.
I'd still be me. That's still my little guy. That's still my little like with her. Like I'm learning how to talk and deal with her, and how to handle her, and how to be tough but not so tough. Like with a little boy, I wouldn't have that concern. I'd be like, get your little ass up here, and it's just that on that. But like with a girl, you have to kind of find that balance on how to be stern, but also be aware of her feelings and that she's emotional, and that she's a woman at the end of the day. Even though she's one, like, and it sounds crazy saying it about a 1-year-old, but
nah, you got to do it early,
like you have no idea. So. It's a challenge. Like I feel like it's making me a much better person, much more patient, much more understanding. Having a girl, and I feel like it may not have been as big of a change if I had a boy.
And that's like one of the big things, like you were saying, like those values and morals and stuff. That time where you got to start putting that in is those 1-year-old, 2-year-old, where people are kind of like, well, they don't really get it yet. It's like, but try taking a puppy at 10 years old and trying to teach them something that you should have taught them
Yeah,
at 1.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be way harder. But if you kind of, like you said, she don't know what the flowers in the bouquet mean, but when she's 2, she might understand a little bit more. When she's 3, she might understand a little. But now she knows, dang, all my life I've been getting flowers in a car. You know what I mean? Even before I could remember, like, you know what I mean? It's like that long you've been.
You will be surprised at how smart kids are, man.
Oh yeah.
When they hit like up till 5, their brain develops faster than it ever will.
Yeah.
So at 5, you know what I mean?
They soak a sponge.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all it is. So they see your mannerisms. They see how you speak. They see everything, the relationships. And it's weird because, you know, we look at language like it's a barrier, though.
Yeah.
Kids, they don't have that.
Nah,
they just see
that's
everything.
Blunt.
So
yeah,
they're processing everything. So even when you're faking it and all of that stuff, they understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
and they gonna call you out on it.
Yeah, it's incredible that he's doing that. You're right, because even my little sister, it's weird because my sister is 9. So she's only like a few months older than my son. Yeah. Right? So his aunt is only a few months older.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. My mom had me and then had a fucking 20-year gap and then had my fucking sister. So I get what you're saying with all of that, because you definitely notice how much they learn, because now my sister was talking when she was 3.
Yeah, that
full
was
conversation.
Crazy. Like, it was
dancing,
crazy.
reading, all of that stuff at 3.
Yeah, all that. It was crazy. Because she did the what?
The baby Einstein stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely condone that, bro.
Yeah. She was. I remember she being here like reading. Oh, that was so. And I used to be like, what? Yeah. Like full on reading.
Starting with Lauren. At 2 at her birthday.
Now they're playing the piano. She's speaking Japanese. Like, it's wild out here.
Yeah. She just know how to learn. Yeah. It teaches them how to learn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got some more questions?
Yeah. So, I like this one too. This is a good one. What mindset did you have to surrender in order to be a better dad?
Being a hoe. I'm gonna keep it 100 because
that's real.
Because
look,
check, like,
so at least y'all know. So in future episodes, when they try to make it seem like it's me, we know who he admitted it.
I mean, I'm honest about my shit, man. Like, nah, because I mean, like I said, man, I've been through a few relationships, and I can honestly say, when you said, we weren't even recording that when you were saying that, when you were like, it's always portrayed as the man being the fucked up person in the situation. Yeah. Right? But it's never portrayed as the woman. And I'll be honest, like my past 2 relationships, it was the females who like fucked up. Yeah. Big time. And it kind of put like a little, you know what I'm saying, a little taint. Like a little tainted. You know
I think that hurts the most because, like you said, it's unexpected. Like, everybody always says it's the guy. So
yeah. So it's like, to keep it real, like, I don't want to ever show him that side of anything. So I don't want to be bringing random girls in and out of his life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I feel like that's a bad image to instill in him.
But so how do you feel about dating though? Period. Like, and when you do find a woman and bring her into that situation, like, how would you go about that?
Yeah. How does that look for you? That's a good question.
I really I always start out like with friendships. You know what I mean? Like, it don't gotta be like I'm kissing, he sees her waking up next to me. It's like, if you want to be in my life, come to the park and play catch with us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Show him that you will be another best friend in his life. Yeah. Over just some girl, you know what I'm saying, trying to replace his mother. Yeah. You feel me? So that's how I do it. And it's always like, even now, like, instead of just jumping into a relationship or jumping into dating these women, like, my mentality, like you said, it just morphed. Yeah. Because when I was younger, it was more like, let me just fuck. Yeah. Let's have sex. Let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah. And it wasn't really like looking for attachment. I just wanted to do my music, work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Get this nut off. And it's like, now that I have a child, I don't want to set that type of example. Mm-hmm. So now it's more like maturity. Yeah. Yeah. So now it's more like, I'd rather work, develop friendships, and then whatever happens, you know what I'm saying, happens organically. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I want him to see that's the way you're supposed to do it, rather than just jumping into things. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's good. I think what you said about, especially about the friendship, like come hang out, like not waking up beside me, you know what I mean? But oh, we over here having game night and you're over here playing games, like you know what I mean? Something like that.
I show him that a personality is important.
Yeah,
because I feel like we're in an era where that's lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Women developing personalities is lost. Like you
people
see all
in
these people on Instagram flexing and shit. But they trash.
But it's
in real
persona,
life.
it's persona. It's not personality.
So
they disconnected.
Yeah,
exactly. I want to instill in him that like get to know somebody.
Yeah, the real somebody. Ask
because,
questions. Yeah,
because I want him to be like him.
Yeah,
You feel me? It's like don't just fucking fall for women because of how they look.
Yeah,
fall in love with their personality so it can grow.
And then go start a family. Yeah.
Exactly. So you can deal with that motherfucker for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you. Like that, because
that's the hard part.
That's the traps I fell in. Because you saw the girls I was dating, they all model bitches, and then it turns out to like they shallow as fuck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then it puts you in a horrible situation. You feel me? So it's like
like you said, the women that you bring around are gonna be the women that he eventually looks for.
Yeah, exactly. Know what I mean?
So like you said, you want to set that example and just kind of.
You don't even got to worry about the situation because you already locked down.
Yeah, I'm good with that. What was the question again?
How do you introduce people into like their life, like dating wise and stuff?
I think the initial one.
The surrender, the mindset you have. Surrender.
Oh yeah. Selfishness, man. That more than anything. Even though I was married, so that kind of surrendered a little bit of that in itself. But at the same time, we kind of could have our moments where we both could be selfish.
Yeah.
Like she could go buy things to do what she wanted to do. I could still go buy things. So we still, even though we were together. And we took care of each other, would it been just us and being able to move how we want to move, there were still selfish parts in there.
Yeah.
That once you have a child,
it can't exist.
Wipe out.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as selfishness because she comes first in every situation. What. Like I can't tell you how many times I've had my eye on something, put it off for a couple of months. That's fine. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this, and then boom, she needs something. What I wanted or needed is no longer important. It's extremely irrelevant. Let's take care of her first. So that part of it, that mindset of being selfish and concerned about things that weren't really important, material things, went out the window. Because I want so much. I want so much for her. Like there's so many things I want to get her. So many things I want to put her in, and so many things I want her to learn, which costs money. Just especially like things like her daycare, like for instance, we drive 20 minutes the opposite way from where we work to drop her off at a daycare, and then have to drive 20 minutes back past our house to go to work, and that's something that I wouldn't have done for anybody else other than my daughter.
For sure.
But it was so important to us to put her in a daycare where we could, one, that had cameras so we can see her when we weren't there. Two, they had a great
especially
rating,
the way things are going on today.
For sure, yeah.
And we knew that would teach her things and mold her and put things in her. And like I said, and it's costing us an arm and a leg. But those are those sacrifices you don't mind making for your child. Like, so it really takes that selfish little energy that you have in you, and it tosses that completely out of the window.
We don't need stakes. You need that education.
Absolutely.
I feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the same question. I'm gonna ask Jamal first, and then I'm gonna revise it and ask you. So Jamal, do you feel that as a dad you have to compete with the mom?
No.
Or do you feel like you have to make the same sacrifice as the mom?
See, definitely not compete. Not at all. Not at all. Of course, there's points throughout your child growing up to where they kind of lean on the mom a little more, especially initially. Like my wife, she breastfed. So after like 6, 7 o'clock, when the baby started getting tired, she want nothing to do with me. Like she wanted absolutely, and it would hurt, it would suck. Yeah. Like it would make me feel like crap because all I wanted to do was hold her and rock her to sleep and do all those things for her, and she wanted absolutely nothing to do with me because her mom was breastfeeding her. But like I said, it's definitely not a competition at all. Like that kind of sways back and forth because now she's a little older. She's a daddy's girl. Like, you know how that goes. So that the competition part, no, not at all. Sacrifices, yes, you do have to make the same sacrifices as the mother. Like I said, when she's breastfeeding, of course, there's certain things that's something that I can't do.
Yeah.
But we were on a schedule. Like if she woke up at 1 to change her, when she woke back up at 3, now that's on me.
Yeah.
She woke back up at 5. All right, now you take one.
Yeah.
Or in a case to where me understanding that she's breastfeeding, and it takes a lot of energy out of you. Like it drains you. Like as I watched my wife breastfeed, I understood how much energy that took out of her. So maybe I had to take the 1 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, and the 5 o'clock, and then still get up and go to work.
Yeah.
So the sacrifices are different, but to be a good father, I think you should make an effort to sacrifice as much as level. The mother.
Yeah.
But like I said, it shouldn't be a competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think you guys should be on one accord with that and kind of work that out on what sacrifices you make versus what sacrifices she make. But they should be made on both parties.
I feel like that's amazing because this goes back to me saying being a man is not just about paying the bills. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because women go through rough patches too. So every once in a while, come home and cook dinner. You know what I'm saying? Don't just make it like, oh, I go to work, so you cook dinner, you clean up after the kids and all of that stuff. I mean, it takes
teamwork, man. Teamwork makes the dream work.
And like he said it's taxing to breastfeed and do all of that stuff. So he'll take her shifts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
at
waking
night.
Up in the morning.
And I mean, I feel like that's the only way to keep everybody happy.
Yeah,
and I think
compromise. Yeah,
exactly.
And I think it's very important too to be very well aware of postpartum. Like that is a serious thing. It's a lot of mothers, especially first time mothers.
Yeah, go ahead and educate. Go ahead and educate on
postpartum.
Yeah.
So that was heavy on my heart even before my wife gave birth. Like during her entire pregnancy, I wanted to make sure I took as much load off of her as possible. Like if it's 12 o'clock at night and you want me to go to Walmart, fine. I don't care how tired I am. I don't care if I gotta go to work. Let me do as much as I can to kind of take as much pressure and stress off you as possible to prepare yourself when we have the child. Then once the baby was here, you got to have those conversations. It's difficult, but I asked my wife, like, "Are you okay? Like, are you thinking about?" And this, it may sound crazy, but we had people that we're close with that luckily opened up to us and told us about some thoughts and some experiences they had. So I had my times where I asked her, like when she was stressed out and crying in the middle of the night, she was so tired. Like, are you thinking about harming the baby? Are you thinking about harming yourself? Like, just to kind of reiterate and just to make sure, like, you're okay. Like, because you just don't know what someone is going through. Like I said, when your body has changed the way that it has,
hormones going crazy.
You don't love the way you look. Breastfeeding is beating you down. Yeah, and then you have a crying child too. So it was times to where I would take the baby, go downstairs and tell her to stay upstairs and sleep all day. Like, don't come down, don't do anything. If you need anything, I'll bring it up. Like, so that postpartum is
emotionally
real.
Uplifted.
Yes, man, you have to tell her she's beautiful. Like, you may still touch her and kiss on her and rub her. Like, if she's going through so much and she hates her body, you have to let her know that you still love her. Keep her. Yeah, she's still beautiful. Yeah. The most beautiful thing that you could do is give birth to this child.
Yeah.
So the things, the stretch marks and the stomach and the scars that come along with that's all part of that journey. And it's all beautiful. Yeah. Like, you created an entire human being with your body, created the person, and could also feed this individual. All from your body. That's an amazing thing. So your body may take a hit initially with that, but I want you to know that thing is still beautiful. So postpartum thing is very serious.
Go ahead, toot that thing up, mommy, make it roll.
I know people who
I want to let you know.
I know people who suffer from it, and I think a lot of it, not a lot of it, but I think some of it has to do with lack of support. So when they're going through that, man, if you see them having a tough time, be ready to stay up all night. Tell them to go sleep in another room, whatever it takes for them to get some rest and kind of regroup. But
take some of that pressure off.
Yeah, man, they need that. They seriously need that.
Let's see. All right, now I'm gonna ask it in a different way for you.
What you mean?
So, because you're not currently competing with the mother, but what you did say is that you encourage him. You know, if that's a relationship that he wants to build, that you're okay with that. You're fine with that. Now, do you think that it would create a competition between you two? Like, say he does build a relationship with his mother, and then it's like, you know,
feel-
like the cool mom, like dang, like yo,
She know how
I
to
just,
deal with the day-to-day,
yeah, you know,
discipline and-
yeah, she don't have, yeah, she hasn't been like dealing with
Remember-
she's the good person, like.
Remember when I said that kids like pick up on a lot of stuff? I feel like if you just work on being a good parent, there's no need to compete. You know what I mean? Because he sees
What you do?
who's there every day. He sees who's there when he gets hurt. He sees who's buying him everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not stupid. Like
Yeah.
they're smart. And I feel like any parent that keeps another parent away from their child is trash. I don't care what the situation is, man. Like you always gotta let them fuck up for themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't keep the
You
child
can't live
away
for 'em,
because
yeah.
you're creating an atmosphere of what if. You know what I mean? Like what if I knew my father? What if I knew my mother?
Yeah.
So you gotta actually get that out of the way early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Develop that relationship. If they fuck it up, cool. I mean, you gonna get burned, but that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If mom hurts you, I'm here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you can see the difference and you can know that no matter what the situation is, you can depend, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, on me. So I don't really feel like competition should be anywhere in the mentality of raising the child.
Yeah.
It should always be just do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
Give him or her like as much love as you can give, and then let everything else take its course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The moment you interject like what is it, resentment, anger,
Yeah.
and shit like that into a relationship, I mean, you are becoming the devil in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like competition is bringing division.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
like,
when we could have been on the same team, why are we competing against each
yeah,
other?
it's almost
Yeah.
like the Lion King.
Yeah.
When he was like, Simba, don't go over there into that dark place.
Yeah.
That motherfucker went, right? So it's like, fuck, go, I'm here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take you there.
Yeah.
And when you get hurt,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
tell
here
you
for
you're
it.
gonna get
I'll be
hurt.
here, yeah.
And when you get hurt, I'm here for you,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Yeah.
so that's how I kind of treat it. You know what I mean? So
I feel like any parent that keeps their child away from the other parent, regardless of how dirty that the other individual did them, I feel like you're just as bad as that individual. For sure.
Yeah.
Like you should always give your child the opportunity, because I don't care how great of a father you are. There's certain things that a
That you
child can
can't-
get from a mother
Yeah.
that you can't give him.
And
or,
I noticed
or her. Same thing with the other way around. Like, I don't care how great of a mother you are. There's
can't.
certain things that you cannot give a little boy or a little girl that his or her dad can give her. It's just impossible for you to do so. Yeah, you can step in, you can be great, you can be amazing. You can fill that void as much as possible, but there's certain things that you can't do. So if they're there and they're willing to, even if it's once every month, and I know you may not like that and may not agree with that, but if it's once every month, give them that once every month.
Yeah.
Just to give your child that opportunity to pick up and learn whatever they can, to soak up any knowledge or anything they can possibly get from the other parent. Allow them to do so.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's like you see the parents, they say they're trying to protect their kid. You know, because it's
And
like
I'm
this
telling
person only comes around every now and again, and then you don't want them to get hurt, but it's like they're gonna get hurt by people forever.
And
You know
I'm
what I
telling
mean?
you, bro, I've dealt with that situation, man. Because it'd be like, this is how fucked up the situation is, bro. She'll hit him up, like she'll text him, and she'll be like, "I'm gonna come get Caden on Tuesday
Yeah,
at 2." Little nigga go pack his bag, you know what I mean, and sit by the steps, and she'll never show up. So
I've
it's
definitely
like,
been there.
so it's like.
Yeah,
That shit used to hurt me because I know like he's going through that shit.
Yeah.
And I see like you was saying that there's a void
yeah,
because I can tell how he is with my mom.
yeah.
Like, so-
he wants
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's
And-
like always OD, like he's always like hugging her, kissing her and
Yeah.
stuff like that because he doesn't
Beca-
have that nourishment.
Yeah, because his aunt, who's kind of like his older sister, gets to love your mom like a
And-
mom
and
and not
she-
like a grandmom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she has both parents.
yeah,
So he just basically has me,
Yeah.
and I'm always at work.
Yeah.
So it's like fuck. Like I know he has a lot of like emotional
Yeah.
situations that you gotta like kind of cater to. You know what I mean? So even that, I understand trying to protect your child, but at the same time, she's gonna keep not showing up, and
Yeah.
he's gonna start realizing that.
yeah.
He'll get
So
stronger.
exactly, and so
Yeah.
like it's weird now because he calls her.
Mm,
So I'm gonna blur that out, but
Yeah.
he calls her by her name.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't even gotta teach him that.
yeah.
He just
Like
starts
he's
to
making up
realize.
his mind for himself.
He starts
yeah,
to
yeah.
realize, and like we all from fuck. I don't know about you, but I know we're all from fucked up like grown like childhoods.
Yeah,
So it's like my father died when I was 7.
Yeah.
So I was raised by a single mom.
Yeah.
So me knowing that, I know a child needs his father.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, no matter what the situation was, I was gonna do that. You know what I mean? So.
And that's why I kind of stood out when you said like waiting on the steps. Like I vividly remember getting phone calls and waiting, and then my dad got locked up when I was like real young, and it's crazy because now, at the age I'm at now, looking back, and when I had opportunities to rebuild that relationship, I had so much anger.
Yeah,
I had so much anger, and I wish, it's like I kind of wish somebody would have told me not to feel like that, but then I'm glad that they just let me feel like that, because when we did finally start rebuilding a relationship, we probably went 20 years without talking, and then we finally started rebuilding our relationship. But it was like, I'm getting to know you because that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Where it wasn't emotionally backed. I didn't have that want for that. Even though I feel like I had spent a lot of my life looking for somebody to fill that void. The fact that I didn't have it when we finally built a relationship, we built a relationship as men. Yeah. Like, the only thing I need from you is advice on how to be a man. Like, you know what I mean? I don't need you to really parent me because I'm probably not going to receive it well. You know, because I've never had that from you. So, and on some parenting shit, like, you can keep that. But I never really knew my grandfather. So if I have kids, I don't want it to be a situation of they don't know their grandparents because I'm mad at him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like, he got knowledge. He has knowledge that I don't know.
Even if it's horrible knowledge.
Even if it's good or bad, it's
tells
knowledge.
Him what not to do.
It can save me a lesson learned. You know what I mean? So it's been good that we've been able to kind of rebuild our relationship. And I love that we were talking about that, because the next question was, for men without fathers, how did or does that lack of relationship impact your parenting? And I've always feared not being there for my kids.
And I can't lie, that was definitely a weird, you know what I'm saying, like, situation for me, because it's like I said, like, my dad died when I was 7, so it's like, fuck, I don't really know.
I don't know,
I don't really know, like, what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So let's just start off with, you know what I'm saying, me being his best friend. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I vividly have memories of drawing my dad. Yeah. Like, I have his drawing books to this day. That's why I'm into this art shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, he wanted to play football. I play football, so fuck it, I'll train him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I know the ins and outs of the game. Yeah. You want to do this, I'll do this with you. You know what I mean? And like, I do music, I do all of this stuff. So he's playing the piano now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I got a keyboard, come do music with me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just like try to partake in all of his hobbies to show him, like,
to shape him. Yeah.
To show him, like, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'll be your fan. You feel me? So
if anything, if anything, you got me. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like, that's how I start off the situation. And then I kind of know all the bad decisions I made, teach him not to think like that. Yeah. Because it's weird, like, listening, like, a young dude listening from, like he was saying, it's a difference between having a father telling you something and a mom telling you something. Yeah. As a young, ignorant ass teenager, your mom's like, don't go do that. I'm like, man, I'm trying to go get this pussy. You know what I'm saying? But like, now I'm a father.
I'm trying to be a man. You can't teach me how to be this, mom.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, now I can tell him the stupid shit I used to do. And I tell him all the time, like, he be trying to like pull off, like get fast ones over. I'm like, bro, you know you fucking with a master right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to play me, bro. Yeah, exactly. Like, I know what you doing, dog. Like, I was you. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like
you don't just look like me, you act like me too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, first off, like, you know what I'm saying, support him, and then teach him all of the shit that he needs to know to become a man.
Yeah, because your L's are gonna be his lessons. Exactly. Exactly. For
sure.
Won't make the same mistakes.
Exactly. Learn from me, bro. Don't. And I tell him all the time. I sit down like, I want you to be so much better than me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's crazy because it's like, I feel like, not even just with kids, but like even with your friends, even with people that you just know, you try to save people from lessons, and they don't be. It's like, I can't save you enough. It's like, yo, I'm telling you, I just went through this last week, and you looking at me as if I never been through it. And then when you done, I'm like, yo, I could have saved you. You would have just listened. But it's like, so I mean, I feel like as a parent, it's like you can only save them from so much. So like, how do you know when to let him fall and scrape his knee? and versus grabbing the handlebars so you know what I mean they can keep riding. You know, what do you feel like that was it? An age? Was it a situation that you kind of said you looked at them? And dang, they're good. They're kind of good for themselves.
I think it's situational because I'm already doing it now. I pick and choose the situations that I allow Lauren to put herself in, and she, like I said, she's only one, but there's times where I could pull her back from a situation and it could have prevented a fall or a tumble. But some things you kind of let them just rock out and kind of let them see what happens because you tell them no, and then
they don't know, they don't understand
it, and then I could make you say there's a certain look and a certain tone in my voice that I can use that'll shut everything down that she's doing. Yeah. And now that she understands, like me being her father, like I have that. But sometimes I'll pull back on that and allow her to do what I just told her not to do.
That's when it's
so you can see why I said don't do it.
Stop playing on that couch.
Let her hurt herself. Then,
get out that toilet.
Unlike the other situations where I couldn't prevent something that she hurt herself, where I would pick her up and hug her and kiss her and let her know that everything's okay. Allow her to hurt herself. When she gets up and comes over and looks for that father, that protection, that take care of me, the kissing and hug. I don't do that. Explain to her, didn't I tell you not to do that?
That's funny because I do that same
This is what happens when you don't listen to daddy. I told you not to do it. And then she looks back over at whatever item or whatever just happened. It's kind of like, and you can almost kind of see it click, even at a 1-year-old, like, I see, okay.
Yeah, you just said, that's what he said. That's what he meant, no. When he said that,
yeah, so I think it's situational. I think, like I said, even with bigger situations when they get older, like you may see, like with you may see a girl that when he starts dating, that's no good for him. But while he's still close to you and you can protect him and can pick him up and rebuild him, while he's still young enough to make those mistakes, sometimes you gotta allow him to. And it'll build character and it'll make them stronger. Because if you protect them from everything, once they get to a point to where you can't, like there's going to be a point where they're going to move out, they're going to be on their own, and you can't protect them.
You're not going to be able to cope.
Safety net has been removed.
It's going to be hard.
If you've left that safety net there and haven't given them the opportunity to fall throughout their entire existence,
bubble boy syndrome.
When they do fall, everything will break. They're too fragile. So I think it's not so much about age. I think it's situational. So at 1, at 4, at 8, there are situations that you have to allow them to put themselves in quicksand. And figure out how to get out of it, and then right when their head is going on, they're gonna pull them out and tell them like, look, this is why I told you not to do that.
Exactly.
Come give me love. Let me build you back up. But understand. So now your next situation, you'll understand. Okay, well he had a point the last time. So maybe you know what I'm saying. Maybe
it'll click.
Move on out the way.
It'll click.
For real.
And you almost gotta give them enough of those situations that you're okay with them leaving the house because eventually they gotta leave, you know. So it's like I gotta let you fail so many times that you don't get in these situations later on in life. These dumb situations that can get you really hurt or really in trouble. You know what I mean? Just mannerisms, how to act in, like you said, like we were talking about earlier, how to act in different situations, how to know what to feed the room. You know what I mean? How to say the right things in the right atmosphere. Like these are situations like you get like, hey. You got to learn this stuff now because you only get one chance. Once you walk out of my household and out my door, you only get one chance. Like you need to listen and learn from these lessons right now. So I'm gonna ask y'all this, and this is. I feel like y'all can really get behind this one. What is one of the most important aspects you wish to impart in your child? Yeah, because you got to pick one. I need one.
All right.
Well, give me a couple. Give me what you can give me.
Versatility.
Ooh, I like that.
Because I know with
me... Teach you how to move in a room full of vultures.
I'm telling you, man, like, I started off... I remember people ask me, what did I want to be when I grow up, right? I'll be like, a celebrity, right? I would never waver from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like through life, now I'm an electrician. Now I work with my hands. I know how to build shit. You know what I mean? I'm on job sites constantly.
Yeah.
So it's like I would teach him, I would teach him different aspects so he can thrive in any climate. You know what I mean? Like that's why now that he's young, he's playing sports, but he's also learning the piano and he's also drawing and he's also doing math problems and he's also playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta
And
cultivate.
dancing.
You gotta cultivate every
Eating keto
aspect.
pizzas.
Yeah, you gotta cultivate. Oh, he's fucking horrible with this diet shit, man. But you gotta cultivate
Metabolism too high for
every
keto,
aspect.
man.
No, like listen, he will eat. He eats dog shit.
Yeah, he wants sugar.
Like all he
Yeah,
all he wants
sugar.
is pizza and burgers. I'm like,
yeah.
yo, come on, bro. Like, eat this fucking vegetables.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But he
wants
hates
sugar,
that shit.
yeah.
He'll sit there and look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just gotta cultivate their mind. And I explain to him all the time. I'm like, yo, you can either play Fortnite for 4 hours,
Yeah.
or you can
Do something.
work
for that.
on developing something that's gonna have other kids playing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can be the follower or you can be the leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can
And
play this game all day, or you can make a game.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of instill that in them. And now we're in the multimedia age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I record music, and we're obviously doing the video
Yeah.
stuff. So I tell them like, bro, come up with a sketch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get behind that aspect of it so you can see.
Shoot, I'm behind that.
Yeah, so you can see, like when you watch a movie,
You can do anything these days.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah.
like you can get both viewpoints of how it is. So either you can be a consumer or you can be a provider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of want to show him that you can
The
be
difference between both.
exactly like you can be an artist, but you can also be a handyman.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like you can be a provider. You can be everything you want to be.
Yeah.
Is only
Yeah,
arm's
whatever
reach.
you can make time for. Yeah.
You know what I
can
mean?
do everything, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can be a
So-
man of many hats.
You could be an athlete and you
Yeah.
could be an actor. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It can come in. You know, saying like
Yeah.
you never know what's gonna pop for you.
Yeah.
And especially as an 8-year-old,
And
you
you gotta
don't know
give
what you gonna be good at.
And I think if your parents are providing an atmosphere where you can expand and like where you can try that, you owe it to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they give you that safe
like-
like, use it.
like his daughter, like if you sit her down in front of some drums, she's gonna go crazy, and you don't
For
see that
sure,
for little
yeah.
girls. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it's like
Yeah.
she's in an atmosphere where it's like, well, this kind of interests me,
Challenge
so
it,
my
exactly.
parents like give me some drums, like
And what's crazy is what I notice about kids is that they don't know what the fuck they like.
yeah.
So all they know is what's in front of their face.
Neither do adults, but
So they only know what's in front of their face. So
nah, we worse because we should know what we want.
That's true.
so it's like Caden, I told him, I was like, bro, you're gonna have to play every sport.
Yeah.
Just because you don't
You
know
never
what you're
know.
gonna love.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I was like, you gonna play baseball? He was like, I don't want to play baseball. I just want to play football.
Until he get out there and he be hitting home runs.
Boom,
and
got a
yeah,
trophy over there
exactly,
for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you definitely gotta push their comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they can know how to be stressed out and they can know how to adapt and they can know how to learn new skills.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I do that. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'll bust his ass in Madden. Then I'll
Yeah,
fucking
too.
teach him. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then I'll sit down and draw with him. So it's
Yeah.
like you get the duality of everything.
Yeah.
So that's
And
my
you,
thing.
and you get to challenge yourself too. It kind of gives you a reason.
Yeah,
Like,
it definitely
like
does bring all of that
I
shit
use
back.
my god kids as a reason to still see Disney movies. You know what I mean? It gives you it gives you a reason to kind of get back into
be a kid again.
to be a kid again. Yeah, to be creative and just use your brain and not think about the pressures and the stresses of the world. Just kind of like unwind, like you said, chilling with your best friend.
For sure.
You know what I
be
mean?
talking shit too.
Like Jamal be getting his nails
Boy.
painted and playing in doll houses.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's just
I
the
be
things that he
yelling,
wanted to do
kitchen,
since he was a
baby.
kid.
I
Like
be talking cash shit because he be sitting.
these are all the things he
fucked
just wanted to do. Now he finally gets to do them. He just lucked up that he
Yeah,
had a
fucked
daughter.
up.
Just lucked up.
Yeah, he'd be in the room watching Johnny Test. I'm like, yo, turn that bullshit off.
Yeah.
Put on some Dragon Ball Z. You need to
Yeah,
watch real
exactly.
cartoons, bro.
Exactly. See, I mean, and I think what's good about like episodes like this is we kind of get to break the stigma. You know what I mean?
sure.
We kind of get to redefine and give a voice to
I
fathers.
find that hilarious because I've been reading all these posts. My baby daddy ain't shit. Men ain't shit. Men are this, men are that, men
Yeah.
are this, men are that. But it's like, bro,
We
like,
do
you don't
it
even
too,
know,
though.
Like,
We throw the baby
We
mama.
do.
Yeah, my baby mama crazy.
yeah, we do.
Baby mama kicked down the door.
But it's
We
like
saying
it's
the
funny.
same thing.
It's funny because when you're on the other side of the fence, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't do what
Seem
you're telling
too
the
real?
guys to do.
That's it too real. What you laughing for? That's it too real. Well, I ain't got no kids, so you already know.
And I guess maybe to answer the question, the first thing popped in my head, I tried to find something else. This
say
whole
that
time you're
first
talking,
thing.
but nothing else comes to mind, so I'll say that. And the reason why I try to find something else because it sounds cliche, but having a little girl, I think the one thing I want to tell her is how to love, but also how to be loved.
That's major.
That's major for sure.
I think it's a lot of damaged individuals. You know what I mean, boy and girls.
I was getting ready to say that. I was about to say that's something that you can teach to your son
just
too. Because men don't know how to be loved because we're taught this is what you're supposed to do, but we don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? It's hard to define like what I want in a wife because they not promoting what I should want, or you know what I mean?
Especially these women ain't cooking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But every time you see a commercial, it's like, oh, my husband should be opening the door for me. Like the husband should be taking out the trash. Like they're constantly defining what the man should be doing, but it's like, well, we're not gonna be cooking all day. So it's like, okay, so what do I get to replace that with? You know what I mean?
That's something I definitely want to instill in her. Like I said, how to accept that love and to be appreciative of it. And also how to reciprocate it. Like I want you have to be open. As scary as that is to be open for someone and allow them to get close to you and allow them to possibly hurt you. But you have to be willing to take that risk because you can miss out on so much if you don't. So like I said, that's just something that I just want her to be able to do because I mean a lot of people don't know how to be loved. They weren't loved on enough as a kid and growing up. To where they don't know when someone is being good to them, they don't even know how to receive it. And I think that's damaging to a lot of people. I think a lot of people miss out on great opportunities, great relationships, and destroy great relationships just because they don't know how to be loved. And that's always been big to me. Because man, I grew up in the hood. Like I had my dad around. You know what I'm saying? I had my mom, but we grew up in the hood. So me and my mom really started telling each other we love each other until I was like in my 20s. And it was understood that she loved me. Like I watched her do everything under the. But it's different when you hear it, to make sure that I was good, so I knew it. But I didn't have that in me. Like that wasn't something that I.
Yo, it's weird that you said that.
I had to figure it out.
Yeah, that's real. Nah, and that's why I said I think it's important for him to do the same thing for his son because for a long time I didn't know how to receive love. Like I've always received love from my family, but that's not romantic. You know what I mean? And when it came to romantic love, I didn't know how to accept it. And I would, like, you've seen situations, I wouldn't let my girlfriend do things for me. Or I wouldn't let people, show me love because I didn't know how to accept it the right way,
It's crazy that he said that, bro. Because I went to meditation for New Year's, and these are my resolutions for the year. I'm about to show you this shit. That last one, my handwriting's ass, but what's that say? Hug my mom once a day. That's one of my resolutions, bro. Because it's crazy. He said that shit, and I realized you go through so much time, and it's just like, bro, like, you feel like it's love just a constant beat down. And you got to remember that love is stronger than anything. You know what I mean? So it's easy to like close everybody off and build up all of these walls, but you don't get to experience the greatest things of life. You know what I mean?
Life is about relationships. So if you're one of those people, I don't like being around people, it's like you're missing out on what life is about. Life is about relationships.
It is. And it has to be intentional. I think we all get lost in the ideal of love and understanding that person knows you love them and you know that they love you, but there's actions behind it.
You kind of take it for granted.
Love is an action word. Like you have to be intentional. Like I make sure when my daughter wakes up in the morning that I hug her, that I kiss her, that I ask her does she have a good night of sleep. Like that's important to me. When I see her after I have been gone for a long time or from work, when I come in the house, I hug her because like I don't go on about my day, go in and start putting coats up, getting on. First thing I do is address her.
Effort.
Like you have to be intentional with these things because if not, you'll fall into a complacent area where you're just. Okay, she knows I love her at this point. Let me come in, put my coat up, fix my food, I'll kiss her eventually. Like you fall captive to that. So you have to be intentional with showing love. It's not just about saying it. You just gotta let a person know and let them feel love.
It's affection, bro.
Yeah, it's important. Right. And because I think me and my wife have done such a great job at that. Like the most beautiful thing to me, like on the planet, dog. Like my daughter does a lot of amazing things that I think is really dope. She's really smart. She does a lot of great things. But the most like it makes it like it melts my heart. It almost brings tears to my eyes. Like we'll be chilling, watching TV, like just going on about our business, and she'll just walk over to you and hug you, and she hugs you around your neck. Like she'll hug you around your neck, she'll kiss you, and she'll go on about her day.
Yeah.
So that lets me know that as parents, we've done a great job of showing her what love and affection is.
Because
She'll be in the middle of a plan. It'll just hit her like, let me hug my mama, let me hug my dad, let me kiss her.
Yeah.
Like she'll hug, kiss you, even tell you she loves you, and it'll go on about her
Yeah,
business. So it's something in her that was like, I ain't loved on them in the last hour. So that meant a lot to me. That, like, say, it almost brings tears to my eyes even talking about it, because it's like, yo, I didn't have that growing up. Like, I knew my dad loved me, I knew my mom loved me, but it wasn't intentional. Like, there wasn't enough action. It was just like implied. There wasn't enough action behind it, and I always told myself it wasn't gonna be like that when I had a child, but to actually back that up with actions and see it coming to fruition with my daughter means the world to me.
That's that hood shit, that implied love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, I love you, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like you definitely. I feel like that's an amazing like outlook on it, because my son does the same thing on the weekends when he finally like, because I wake up at 5 too. Yeah. And I'm normally out the house, but it's like on the weekends he'll come in and wake me up and like give me a hug. Yeah. Like to wake me up, and it's like, damn, this is actually that's freaking. Like, my sister does it too.
Nah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, I really wanted to have this conversation because as I'm getting older, as I'm transitioning my life and my mindset to like marriage, to being a father, like, this is the time to start preparing. You don't become a husband when you say I do. You should be a husband that says I do. You should be a father that has a kid. You know what I mean? That kind of puts you above, like, and sometimes it's not people's fault. Sometimes people find out 4 months after. You know what I mean? And then you gotta transition your mind where it's like, but if I have the opportunity now to suck up all the knowledge that you guys have and the lessons that you guys have already gone through, so that my transition is going to be a lot better.
I feel like the biggest thing that we need to push for every parent is break the cycle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, break the cycle, all of the bullshit that we dealt with as kids. Yeah. Don't continue that. Because a lot of people, like I could have took the situation where I'm like, fuck, I didn't want a kid. Yeah. Fuck, I hate the baby mom. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with none of this shit. And I could have treat him like shit. Yeah. And never been around, do all that shit. But then you're creating another generation of fucked up shit. Yeah. So it's like you can take. This is gonna be a cycle. So you can take that, or you can go. Not you know this what? Time. We're gonna exactly. We're gonna change this. You know what I'm saying? I grew up fucked up. He's not gonna grow up fucked up. And then his kids are gonna grow up better than we grew up. Yeah. And that's the problem when it comes to even with debt, all of that stuff. It comes with generations of not knowing. Yeah. Generation of just trying to survive and not enjoy life. Definitely. You know what I mean? So everything that, like, just sitting next to him is like inspirational. Yeah. Because it's like, that's what I want my kid to strive for. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like his daughter is going to grow up already ahead of a lot of motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be hard to get at. Exactly. We making her bougie. We building her up. Facts. Bougie. Facts. It ain't even we building her up bougie. Like,
and you don't know, because you don't know my wife like that. But it's funny because, like, we've had these conversations. It's funny that he's saying that because I call my wife bougie. But the reason why she's like that, because she has an incredible father. Like, one of the most amazing men I've ever been around in my life.
Shout out Mr. B.
Yeah, shout out Mr. B, man. I love you guys. Hey. But I always made jokes about, like, it almost kind of irritated me how much I had to step up to be with her. I was like, this is so annoying. Like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Like, my wife don't pump her own gas. That used to irritate the hell out of me. But that's because her dad did it. Like, they hurt. He's in the house with his wife, and he has 2 girls. He would leave in the morning, go pump his wife's gas, bring her car back. Go pump my wife's sister's gas, bring her car back. Then go pump my wife's, bring her car back. And then he'll go off to do it.
But see, you low key doing it and don't even realize.
No, I realize
with
it.
The bouquet.
I realize it now, because now I'm doing this intentionally. Yeah. Because I hated it when I was dating my wife, but she made me step up to the plate and made me a much better person. Like, I had to really, like, go all out to get her when I didn't have to put in half as much effort to get with other girls. Yeah. And I thought I hated that, but now that I have a daughter, I appreciate that so much.
Anything worth having is worth the work, man.
Low key.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing the same thing with my daughter. I'm making her just as bougie.
What's crazy?
Making her just as difficult, because I want the young man that proposes to her and wants to have to step his game up. Like, he's not going to have a choice, because she's not going to accept anything less than this. Like, because Because if you don't do this for me, my dad will.
That's
he
amazing.
has since I was born, and he will continue to do
And
it. So I don't need
and
you
Uncle
for
Sam
anything,
doing it
bro.
too,
Like, I'm doing you a favor, bro, by letting you take my car. Because my dad will do it.
Yeah.
Like, let's be clear. Like, you know what I'm saying?
real.
So I hated it when I was dating her, but now I look back on it and appreciate it so much. Like,
But the powerful thing that you even describing, bro, is like her dad helped mold you too.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the power.
Yeah.
That's the power of just teaching.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
wanna
Because
be
like
that
now,
for a young
you're
man.
exactly
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna be. If he didn't have a father, when he comes into your daughter's
Yeah.
life, now he has a role model.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's we need to break these generational
definitely,
curses,
yeah.
bro. Because that's the only way. You know what I'm saying? Us as a people kind of like grow.
Yeah, because father
You know
figure
what I
don't
mean?
stop once they leave the house. Like,
Yeah.
like you said, like he impacted my life greatly because my dad died in 2013. Like I had my dad, he was around, but I was 22, he passed. And of course I missed him. Like that's my dad, so there was a huge void, and nobody could ever feel that. Like that hole in my heart would never be completely filled.
Yeah.
But my wife's dad being there for me the way that he was, and the relationship that we have, and just the way he took me in and taught me things that even if my dad was here, my dad couldn't have taught me. Like my dad wasn't a husband, and he was a husband, but it was different. Like he got married later in life.
Yeah.
Like my wife's father was married before he had kids. Like he did the same thing that I'm doing now is what he did. I didn't see that from my own dad.
Yeah.
I saw it from him. When I started dating at that time my girlfriend, it was the first time I had really seen a super healthy. I just make jokes about them being the Cosbys. I'm like, they do everything together. They dress alike.
Yeah.
They go to the mailbox together if they can.
Now he matching his daughter. Now he matching his daughter on.
But that's what's crazy. It's like where we're from, it's a joke.
It is.
Yeah.
It was. I used to make fun of them.
Exactly.
Nah, it's
like,
real.
look at
Yeah.
y'all
Fun of them, and I aspire
It's
to
real.
be them. I used to make fun of them.
Yeah.
Like, yo, why are your parents dressing like that's corny?
And
Like,
Claire's
what's wrong with
parents
them?
have a real good
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Not used to that, but like now, like I aspire to be just like dude. Like if my marriage can live up to be half as great as theirs is, bro, I won. Like
man.
it's amazing.
And I feel like that's so powerful, bro. That's so powerful. Like,
I mean, conversations like this is definitely going to break the cycle because more people are going to want to talk about it,
and that comes
we'll
with
get more
maturity
insight.
too. Yeah.
But you have to communicate to get mature.
Yeah,
For sure.
Because nobody can read minds. Like so, it's like you gotta have talks. You gotta have those hard conversations with people. You gotta get mad, walk out the room, but then come back. Like, you know what I mean? Take a second, but then come back and finish the conversation.
That's wild
out.
that you said it because
You know what I
everybody's
mean?
we're microwave generation, so everybody's so used to just leaving.
Yeah, they want a solution now. They want a solution now.
And you know what I'm saying? The TV comes fast, the music comes fast, everything comes fast, so they don't realize a relationship with anybody. A relationship with anybody is cultivated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Continuously.
Exactly. And like he was saying, it takes effort. It takes effort. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Disney film where love is just gonna happen.
Yeah.
It takes effort to grow that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It takes effort to not even just grow it. You gotta keep that shit.
Yeah.
And you gotta keep it getting new. And you gotta
Discipline
try.
like hell, yeah.
You gotta try to keep that shit molding.
And choose it. You
And
gotta choose
we're
it
in
every
a
day.
generation. That's why people get divorced because they'd rather quit than work through it and make it worth something. Worth.
But that's how you. I feel like that's how you end up in multiple marriages because you think because you say, all right, well, I'm instead of realizing that you're gonna go through it with the same person. But like you said, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
And what we want to do, man, we want to thank you for coming out.
I appreciate you
and talking.
man.
And we're definitely gonna do this again. Have way more engagement, more questions. Like I said, this is gonna help prepare those people who are either going into fatherhood or in fatherhood and have questions and don't have anybody to talk to. You know what I mean? Because like you said, it's a joke. Like I can't admit that I'm struggling being a dad, even though I never knew what a dad was. You know what I mean? So I think these conversations, like we said, we're going to break the cycle.
Man.
Yeah, we're going to break the cycle. So Mar, let them know where they can find you on Instagram, social media, whatever.
Man, on Instagram is made in Memphis, so made_in_Memphis. Same thing on Snapchat, made in Memphis. But instead of the I, it's a 1. I'm active on those 2 more than anything.
Yeah.
You already know, man. New Future Flash, everything. You know what I'm saying? You can catch my music on my Instagram, stuff like that. And don't be scared to shoot us some DMs and stuff about like topics you want us to talk about. Not every podcast is going to be heavy, but I feel like when this was brought up, I mean, it's very like
it's needed.
It's needed. It's necessary, especially in the climate that we're facing now, where people are growing up without parents and people are like dealing with a whole lot of stuff. I mean,
and I think healing's in.
Exactly. Yeah. It's okay to
I hate this
word, decompress. You know what I'm saying? And release like all of these emotions that we have built up.
Yeah.
Because that's not like instilled in us.
Yeah.
We're like,
that's
we
where
gotta
you have to break the mold.
Exactly. We gotta be tough. We gotta just hold shit in.
Yeah.
But really,
and
like,
it's so easy. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It's so easy to hold shit in.
Yeah, man.
But then you don't realize you wake up, you breaking yourself down by holding it in when you could have just let it go and not worried about it. It breaks you down more holding it in. So we gotta break that. We gotta get out of that because that's creating monsters. Yeah, that's creating monsters. Yeah, exactly. It's creating monsters, literally.
And ignorance is learned.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like so,
the abused become the abused, like the abuser. So it's like you gotta break it, get out of that mindset. And y'all know y'all can find me at Rhett Gatsby, RHETT.GATSBY on Instagram. Like he said, holla at us. We're gonna get our Instagram coming for the No Yes Man podcast. That's coming soon. Facebook page probably coming soon too. We want to engage with as many people as we can. If you like the episode, give it a
spread.
You know what I mean? Yeah, spread it out. You know, if they got thumbs up on here, do whatever. That means you liked it. Give us 5 stars. Do whatever. We appreciate it. We're gonna try to keep this coming. Like I said, we're here all 2019, man. We're gonna have different people coming in and out. This is the No Yes Man podcast where we don't agree with each other. We all have our own perspectives, and it ain't no yes men over here. It's real people, real life. We giving it to you real raw, and we out.
Spokes. Everything's so groovy. Bell Beef, come do me. It's a crime to love her. You should go on and sue me. She Michael Jackson bad. Janet Jackson nasty. Ooh, she's so sassy. How's it feel?